So number 14, I'm going to do this one a little bit differently than I did the last one. I'm going to leave the 12 and the 8 factored. I'm going to take the m and the m squared and leave those in the way they started. So 12 times 8, good, m times m squared. We're going to leave those alone because we're going to expand them out anyway. So 12 can be written as 2 times 6 and then 2 times 3. 8 is 2 times 4 and 2 times 2. So if we write all of these factors out, completely expanded, and I encourage you to try to find some quicker ways of doing these, but if you like it fully expanded, it's just a little bit more work, but it's the same every time. So we have a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, because I'm including the 2 2s from the 12 and the 3 2s from the 8. So we get to multiply all those together. And then we have this 3. Don't forget that one. And maybe we can keep track as we're writing these down. We have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That takes care of all of those. And then we have the 3. So we got all of the prime factors of 12 and 8 all combined. And then we have our m times our m squared, which we can write that as m times m times m. Now again, we're looking for a square root, so we're looking for pairs. There's one pair, there's another pair of 2s, here we have a pair of m's, and so we get to pull a 2 out, we get to pull another 2 out, and we get to pull an m out, and then what we're left with is 2 times 3 times m. And what we want to do is we want to write this as concisely as we can. So 2 times 2 gives us 4, times m is 4m, multiplied by the square root of 2 times 3 is 6, m. So I would encourage you to pause the video and try the last two on your own, and let's see how it goes. Cube root, so I'm going to negative 12 and negative 9. So I know a negative times a negative is going to be a positive, but I'm going to write it anyway. Negative 1 times 12 times negative 1 again times 9. And then I have a k to the fourth and another k to the fourth. So I can see here that I don't want to keep writing all these negatives, so I can see that a negative times a negative, that's going to be a positive, so I'm going to leave those alone. And I'm going to just go ahead and factor the 12. 2 times 6, 2 times 3. The 9 can be written as 3 times 3. And so keeping track of all of the factors that I'm going to be writing down. Again, we have a cube root. Now don't forget, whenever you see the cube root, don't drop that. Leave it there. The 12 can be written now as 2 times 2 times 3, and then we have these 2 3's from the 9, and then we have k to the fourth, k to the fourth. Well, that means we're going to write a lot of k's. 4 k's there, 4 factors of k, and then 4 more factors of k. Now let's keep track. Did we get them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have the 3 3's. 1, 2, 3. We've got those 3, and then we've got the 2 2s. So we're just going to double check and make sure we're getting everything right. So we're looking for groups of 3 now, and if we want a group of 3, we have a group of 3 there. We have another group of 3, another group of 3, and no more groups of 3. So we're going to write that as we pull a 3 out, we pull a k out, and we pull another k out. And we're left with the cube root of whatever is left over. 2 times 2 is 4, and then we have k times k is k squared. And we would write that as 3k squared times the cube root of 4k squared. Congratulations if you got that one right. That would be a great one to study because it's got a little bit of everything. And again, number 16, hopefully you've tried that one on your own, or maybe now you're going to try it on your own, so go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to show you more of a concise way. How would I do this problem? We have a negative times a positive, so I'm going to bring out a negative already, and then I'm going to combine everything under the cube root. So I've got an 18, I've got a 12, and I've got an r to the 7th. gets a little tedious to rewrite everything. So let's see if we can make this a little bit more concise. Now, 18 and 12, 18 is 9 times 2, so let's put a 9 in there, times 2. 12 can be written as 3 times 4. And then our r to the 7th can be written as r to the 6th times r to the 1st power. This might be going over your head a little bit, but for those of you that want a little bit more of a challenge, thinking more, doing less work. I kind of like that. So underneath here I can see 9 times 3, that's a perfect cube, and 2 times 4, which is 8, this is also a perfect cube. So I'm going to rewrite under the cube root symbol, negative again on the outside. Cube root symbol, 9 times 3 is 27, 2 times 4 is 8, r to the 6th is a perfect cube because 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then we have r. So again, if this is going over your head, oops, I didn't mean to do that. That was dumb. No, I wrote it in pen. So I have to cross that out. So we know that cube root of 27 is 3. So we're going to pull a 3 out. The cube root of 8 is 2. And the cube root of r to the 6th, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the cube root of r to the 6th is r squared. And then we have only that r still under the cube root symbol. And so let me write that as concisely as I can. 3 times 2 is 6, so we have a negative in front. Negative 6 r squared times the cube root of r. So again, I do understand that that was not the same way that we've done all the other ones, but nevertheless, that's the answer. And if you did this problem the same way we did all the other ones, then hopefully you got that answer. Thank you.